a.m., 8:30 every Monday morning. It's good to be here once more, and I trust and hope that everyone out there under the sound of my voice had a splendid and restful weekend, and are now fully charged to proceed with this brand new week. As per usual, I'm here to give some small, simple, but very useful advice to our motoring public. And these are some advice that we think, if they are taken on board with you, I believe that we can see a drastic reduction in the amount of accidents that take place on a daily, weekly basis. So I would just want to start off by saying this. When you're behind the wheel of a car, whether alone or with passengers, please, driving safely should always be your top concern. We are more distracted than ever, so it is crucial to know the basics of safe driving and to practice them every time you're on the road. Here are some safe driving tips. Focus on driving. It is always best to keep 100% of your attention on driving at all times. No multitasking. Don't use your phone or any other electronic device while you're driving. You should always slow down. Speeding gives you less time to react, and it increases the severity of an accident. Driving defensively. Be aware always of what other drivers around you are doing and expect the unexpected. Assume other motorists will do something crazy and always be prepared to avoid it. Keep a 2-second cushion between you and the car in front of you. You should make that a 4 seconds cushion if the weather is bad. Make a safe driving plan. Build time into your trip schedule to stop for food, rest breaks, phone calls, or other business. Adjust your seat, your mirrors, and adjust your seat and your mirrors so you can be comfortable at all times. Pull over to eat or drink. It takes only a few minutes to do so. Practice safety. Secure cargo that may move around while the vehicle is in motion. Don't attempt to retrieve items that have fallen to the floor. Have items needed within easy reach. Always wear your seatbelt, and this is a must. Always wear your seatbelt and drive sober and drug free. Don't allow children to fight or climb around in your car. They should be buckled in their seats at all times. Too much noise can easily distract you from focusing on the road. Avoid driving when you're tired. Be aware that some medications may cause drowsiness and make operating a vehicle very dangerous. Always use caution when you're changing your lanes. Cutting in front of someone, changing your lanes too fast, or not using your signal may cause an accident or upset other drivers. What to do if you're in an accident? If you're in an accident, first, you should make sure no one in the car is injured. Next, check on the passengers in the other vehicle, pedestrians, and anyone else nearby to make sure that they're okay. Then you can do these things. Stay at the scene. Leaving the scene can result in legal consequences like fines and or additional violations. You should call 911 or the police immediately. They'll dispatch an officer and medical personnel to the scene of the accidents. Once the police arrive, wait for them to complete an accident report. Stay in your car. If you're on a busy highway, stay inside the car and wait for the police or the ambulance. It's very dangerous if passengers stand along the road with lots of traffic. You should always stay calm. Don't get into an argument or fight with the other driver. Simply exchange your contact numbers and your insurance information. If possible, you should always get the name and phone numbers of witnesses. And call your insurance provider to report the accident. What to do if you're pulled over by the police?
Run?
Huh?
Run?
No, if you're pulled over by the police for whatever reason, if you notice that the police car is following you with the lights on, the flashing lights, that is, you should pull over to the side of the road safely and quickly. Wait inside the car for the officer to approach and be prepared to turn on the light, turn on the interior light at night, and keep your hands where the officer can see them, preferably on the steering wheel. Keep your hands visible. Do not reach under your seat or into your glove box. This may cause the officer to think that you're reaching for a weapon or you're hiding something. You should give your license and proof of insurance to the officer if asked. If the officer asks you to step out of the car, do so without any sudden or threatening movements. You should always be polite. Stay calm. Don't become argumentative, disorderly, or abusive, and never attempt to bribe any officer. I think I will pause there for now. And engage if there's any persons out there wish to call in and share your views, what I might have said, or any other item you might feel necessary that you want to bring forward.
Well, yeah, we actually do have a call on the line. Caller, good morning. You're live on Traffic Talk. Good morning, caller. Okay, seems like we might have lost that caller, but guys, feel free to call back. I mean, initially, the first set of, let's say, traffic tips that you gave,
yes,
I think a lot of it really centers around just paying attention and being aware of your surroundings.
Of your surroundings. Yeah. That is so true.
And I think that's one of the like, I think personally, I think that and speeding, those two things are what cause a lot of traffic issues. But before we continue, we have another call on the line. Caller, good morning. You're live on Traffic Talk. So maybe something wrong with that line. Good morning, caller. You're live on Traffic Talk. Good morning, caller.
112.
All right. Well, let me see if we have an issue. But yeah, we don't have those callers. Sorry. So yeah, I was saying it seems as though one of the main issues is people just not paying attention.
Right, correct, and speeding.
Yeah, I think that combination could result in some deadly situations.
Those are the major factors that we find why we have so many accidents on the street. People not paying attention. People want to speed, go faster than they should go. And but as I say, if persons were to just pay attention and obey the speed limit, we wouldn't be having all these accidents that we're having. Yeah. And
I could totally agree.
Yeah. While we're with
unfortunately, that seems to be something that we deal with on a regular basis. Upon till, when was it? Thursday. I was coming back from the country. And see 2 accidents. Still now I can't understand how one of them happened.
Where they were?
On the countryside, but you could tell that speed was involved. Caller, let's see if we have this caller on the line. Caller, good morning, live on Traffic Talk. Caller, good morning, you're live on Traffic Talk. Okay, seems as though we're having some connecting to the callers. Let's see if I could remedy it.
Get to work.
Yes. Let's take a break. And we come right back. Let's take a break and we'll come right back. Caller, please stand by.
All right, guys, we're going to take a short break and we'll be right back with more Traffic Talk right here in Media Scan.
We are faced with tough decisions every day, but choosing the right home or motor insurance shouldn't be one. You need fast claim settlement from a company that's been rooted for over 31 years. And don't forget the A Excellent rating by AM Best. Make the intelligent choice. Caribbean Alliance Insurance. Reliable insurance that you can count on. Get a quote today for your home, motor, contents, and liability insurance needs, and make the intelligent choice. Caribbean Alliance. Tomorrow secured. Local agents, Dalil Walwyn & Co. Limited. Telephone 465-2631 or 469-5303 for the Nevis office.
All right, guys, we're back with Sergeant Brown right here on the Media Scan and Traffic Talk. But Sergeant Brown, you were speaking at the end there about the way in which we operate when when pulled over by the police. As much as I do believe that the majority of the thing that dictates a lot of the times the way interaction goes is the officer. What are some of the things that you've seen personally in relation to behavior of the road user that could cause the interaction to go in a way that none of the parties would really like it to go?
Yeah, that's a good question. We are a small community, and everyone knows everyone. Everyone knows everyone's back. We believe sometimes we know everyone background. And like, for example, if we both me and you if we came up in the same community, we grew up in the same village, and for some reason I become a police and I'm out there and doing my job and I stop you, I think sometimes you believe that you should be given better treatment to the others because, oh man, you know me and you are coming from the same place.
Or familiarity.
Yes. So you should not be questioning me. You should not be stopping me. You should not be asking me for my driver's license because you know me. You know I have a license and those kind of things. So it's like as we say, sometimes we too, as human beings, we are police. Sometimes we do let our good judgment. We sometimes put it aside and we do get into confrontations with motorists, which it ought not to be. We should be showing a bit more tolerance. We should be showing a bit more self-control because it is like, I mean, why the officer stopping me? So it's like you're emotional now. So we as the officers should be at a more level-headed. We should be more controlled in our actions and our interactions with the motorists. So those are some of the problems that I really I see out there. I encounter them. I see officers get into some unnecessary confrontation with motorists, which they ought not to.
Yeah, I could see how familiarity would breed contempt.
Yes.
in that situation.
That's true.
Yeah.
So I mean, we should rise more above above the friend. Just let the person cool off. Sometimes when you just stand by, and let the person vent, you'll be surprised to see how cool and calm that they get back down and you reason with them and they're on the merry way. So we should, as officers, we should be a bit more tolerant.
Yeah. I think sometimes I feel the two things that I hear people complain about is sometimes there's an obvious power dynamic at play, and people feel like there's a abuse of that power sometimes, as well as sometimes people just don't like small talk in those situations, right? And if you like, it's like, okay, there's an infringement, give me a ticket and let me go my way so I could get back to what I was doing and things. So I feel like those are the two issues that people tend to.
What I also advise persons, if for some reason you're stopped by the police asks you for your driver's license, you kindly hand it to them. If they ask you for your insurance policy, you kindly give them, and in less than a minute, you as long as everything is okay, is valid, you're on your way. But if you're gonna step back and get into small talks, get into cross talk with the officer, you're taking up more time than you are to. So just comply. If for some reason you feel like you're being treated wrongly, there's always a time where you can go and you can file whatever complaint you wish.
Well, that was my question. Yeah. In cases where,
if you feel like you're
for whatever reason, is there any recourse?
Of course,
but I mean at the time, because the truth is sometimes once you get out of that situation, it comes down to my word against his word or her word, and I guess some people really don't trust that process as much.
Yeah, that is so true. And you find nowadays in every corner, everywhere you go, you find persons, they have their phone cameras. And if an officer is offending you, if you feel like you're being wronged, I'm not okay. Let me cut back on that. But what we do find now is that a number of instances where you see police getting to confrontation, and these are sent out on
social media,
and sometimes the police do definitely in their right, but persons sometimes blow it out of proportions, and sometimes it's kind of it's iffy. But if you feel like you're being wronged by the officer, there's a department in the police force that you can go and file a larger complaint, and your report would be looked into. It will be investigated, and if the police officer is at fault, he'll have to bear the consequences.
So in the moment, there is no recourse. For instance, is there a process by which I can request a supervisor or a senior police to come to the scene?
Most times you'll find a senior officer always out there. If there's a police operation, definitely you'll always have a senior officer out there conducting or being in charge of that operation. But if a senior officer is not there, it is always best to kindly ask the officer, can I have your name, please? And all officers, all police officers, we have our identification number, and you can also get that number from the officer as well. And if you feel, as I say, if you feel like you were wronged by the officer, go and file a complaint, because we all are human, and sometimes we do make mistakes.
Understood.
Yes.
Understood. I think that's important for persons to know. I think sometimes people, we get told what we should do, what we shouldn't do, and that kind of thing. But in relation to what to do if things don't go as they should, sometimes there's a disconnect there. So.
Yes. While we are waiting, I just would want to inform the motoring public, pedestrian as well, most of the persons in the Keyon area. You would have noticed that the pedestrian crossing that was removed, the one that was there by the, as we call it, the Cock and Hen tree. That's the road going up, take you up into Upper Keyon. That was removed sometime last week, and we have now put place crossing further across by the daycare center. What we were having is that persons in the community were complaining that where that pedestrian crossing was, it was in a very dangerous position, and we looked at it. We consulted with the officers in the district, and we thought it best to have it removed. So we would have done that sometime last week. So and also the traffic department, along with the police in the Keran district, we are presently looking at making the same street, the road that takes up into Upper Keran. We are thinking about making that a one-way street coming down, and the road that is closer by the Seventh-day Adventist Church, we are thinking of making that road a one-way going up. But we will be in consultation with the community. We are hoping to be over there sometime shortly to consult with you, the Keran community, because we wouldn't want to just do it unknowing to you without consulting with you, because you're the one who will be affected. So we, the traffic department, along with the Keran police district officers, would be in this consultation. We will dialogue, and we definitely would go forward as to the best way how that should be. So I just thought of throwing that out there in the mix. So officers, the Keran police station would be spearheading this effort, though. So please be guided. Yeah.
All right. Well, officer, as a matter of fact, we do have persons who have been trying to join the conversation. Unfortunately, we seem to be having some issue with the phone line. So I want to apologize to you and to the callers, for the inconvenience.
Yes, but callers, all hope is not lost. We will be here again next week, Monday.
Yeah.
So if you didn't get, for some reason you didn't get you, please, you could make notes of your questions, your comments, or your critiques that you would have like to share with us. And when we're here again next week, Monday, same place, same time, you can also you can put forward whatever information you would have liked to share. So it is now time for me to make my departure. It was nice being here with you once more, and I'm sorry that you couldn't get through to us. So as I said, all hope is not lost. So until we meet again, my name is Sergeant Brown, and I want to thank the sponsor to this program, Caribbean Alliance, the Little Walwyn Insurance Limited, and also the composer, the arranger for our theme song, King Hollywood in Navy. So until we meet again, have a safe, productive week, and Godspeed. Bye.
Be careful on the road. Don't make it an episode. Attention all drivers, I'm begging you to slow it down, down. Too many stunt drivers on the road, man. With the fire day, driver, what's your emergency? It's better late than never, so why all the hurry? Speeding is the main cause of plenty mishaps. The road is now a racetrack, threatening life and property, and all the result of that led to death and injury. Inconsiderate driving, this nonsense need to stop. I'm making it my business to alert all motorists, especially those who love to break traffic laws. I have seen what speed can do. Here I am to your rescue to help you to live. Just take this advice I give. I warn all drivers to take care of your passengers. Be careful on the road. episode. How much more tragedy we have to endure to face the reality. Less is safer than more. I'm begging all my friends. Be careful on the road. Slow it down, slow it down. Hey, Roger, watch out for them donkey. Hey. Slow it down, man. Hey. Slow it down, slow it down, slow it down, down, down. Especially by the school zone. The dirt road procedure, Granny reminisce about how it used to be more safer. They used to travel without.
Maybe it's the way the brilliant gold liquid reflects our sunshine, or how the bright blue of its label mirrors the clear Caribbean skies overhead. Maybe it's the fresh, crisp taste of this beastly cold beer on a scorching hot day. Maybe it's even the way it brings us all together. But one thing is for sure, Carib is very much a part of who we are wherever we're from in the Caribbean. Carib. It's the way we play. Drink responsibly.
It's happening again. By popular demand, we're doing it again. Yep, we're doing it again. Horseman's Furniture and Appliances is once again giving away double cash back for free groceries for the months of September to December. Every customer at the Horseman's Furniture and Appliances showroom in St. Kitts and in Nevis gets double cash back coupons for absolutely free groceries. But it doesn't stop there. Every higher purchase customer will also get a chance to win. Yep, get double cash back for free groceries and a chance to win absolutely free groceries for a year with every $100 spent on higher purchase. By popular demand, we're doing it again. Double cash back for free groceries, plus a chance to win free groceries for a year. Come to Horseman's Furniture and Appliances today and expect low prices, expect great quality, expect free delivery, expect double cash back for free groceries, expect a chance to win free groceries for a year, expect the extraordinary terms and conditions apply.
Welcome back to Island Tea with your faves, Kevin and Azim, featuring Jay Gwen Johnson, and it's time to jump into Espresso with our friends from ECCB. Today we're speaking with Nigel Brown, the Corporate Relations Officer. Welcome and good morning.
Good morning to you, Kevin.
How are you doing today?
I'm doing well. I was just looking for my unmute button.
So what's up on our agenda today? What are we chatting about?
Yes, so we are talking about Financial Information Month. This is a an event that comes around every October.
Right.
And so we want to be able to sensitize our general public and listening audience about what is happening for the month of October. Yes, October is indeed a busy month. There's several other things happening, but in particular, Financial Information Month. And so we want to talk about that today.
Oh, so this is
I know.
this is a very important
go
time
ahead,
for
William.
yes, this is a very important time for the organization. I'm sure financial literacy. Is it that you guys have a set of things planned for the month, set of activities?
That is correct. That is correct. Yes. But you know, in these times, all of our activities now will be virtual. In times gone by, we had like financial fairs and a lot of things where people, come around and booths and stuff like that. But because of the COVID-19, a lot of our activities, as a matter of fact, all of them would be virtual this year.
Oh, that must be a big transition. But
Right.
it's obvious, especially in these times, like you mentioned, how important financial literacy is, and that people are very much aware of how to manage their finances. So even in the pandemic, it's good to see that the information is still going to be put out there. So what are some of the things you guys have planned?
Right. Well, even before we go into the actual activities, I just wanted to share on the theme. Our theme for the year is financial empowerment through education. That's the overall theme. As a matter of fact, every year we have that overarching theme, but each year we have specific areas of focus. So under that whole banner of financial empowerment through education, we have some subtopics that we are focusing on. For example, one is let's get digital, equipping yourself for the digital way of life. And as you rightly said, the COVID-19 pandemic, it has really hastened us into this digital society. It has been a transition. And so some of us, we are relying almost exclusively on digital tools to survive, to socialize, to work. Everything is now digital, online banking payments, cell phones. Everybody's using their cell phones now to make life easier. And so these are some of the things that we're going to be looking at under this topic. Let's get digital, taking advantage of virtual platforms for work, conducting business, education, job search, just about anything, staying in touch. Okay. And we also want to look at cybersecurity because, from the time you're going to be on a digital platform, you have to look at the security aspect and digitalization and the entire environment. So that's one of the topics. Let's get digital. And then we have second subtopics. Three of them we have. We have make savings, budgeting, and investment a habit for a more comfortable tomorrow. You can never speak enough about personal finance management. It is one of the most fundamental aspects in our lives, and finding innovative and smart ways to practice it is critical. Especially now, we're talking about COVID-19 pandemic. We're right in the heart of it. I mean, persons who weren't saving before would have an even tougher time, at this time. So savings, budgeting, and investing for a better tomorrow, that will be highlighted under that sub-theme. And then we have a third one. You guys going to find this one interesting. Minding your business.
Oh boy!
I think
Wow.
sign me up for this one.
Is there any way we could include the entire nation?
Minding your business. No, you're talking about how your small business can stay afloat in tough times. Of course, there's a pun there, right? But currently, many small businesses are suffering. And so we want to be able to address fundamental business principles and practice, how you manage your business finances, seeking new opportunities, adaptation. That's one of the things for our independence team, adaptation and innovation, funding, assistance options, and risk management. So all of these we hope to cover under these sub-themes. And how we hope to do this now, as you talk about the activities, we want to have a series of radio programs utilizing all the radio stations. And let me just say that this is not just happening in St. Kitts and Nevis alone. This is a regional program. So Financial Information Month is a regional financial, economic, business, and entrepreneurial education campaign. Okay, and this is across the entire Eastern Caribbean Currency Union. So all our countries, all the 8 countries that the ECCB are part of, will be having these programs in the month of October. And so we want to have radio programs. We are looking at library hour for the children. So everybody gets a piece of the action. And so the children will be having library hour. And of course, we'll be using that hour to sensitize them about savings and investing and that sort of thing. And we also have something for the young people. Okay, we have what is called the virtual treasure hunt and TikTok challenge. You know, the young people, they're going to be interested in that, definitely. Okay. And so, yeah, all the schools, secondary schools, because what we do, we normally have this thing physically, yeah? And so last couple of years, the students were through and through Bass there, looking for clues about the financial information partners that we have, because we have about 15 partners here in St. Kitts and Nevis. And so they would go through the town area and they would look for clues and that sort of thing. We can't do that anymore because of the situation. And so everything is online. So it's a virtual treasure hunt and a TikTok challenge. They have to come up with a video that will demonstrate the theme of FIM. So that's going to be interesting. Yeah, and then we have some prizes there for them. And then the other thing we have is for the adults. That is we have a business symposium, a virtual business symposium at the end of the month, the climax. And so that's where we're at for Financial Information Month. It's all about sensitizing people about how they should go about saving, investing, and especially know that we are faced with a pandemic. Had these things been, and we've been doing this thing since 2002, eh?
Right.
So Financial Information Month has been around since 2002. And so had persons been, paying attention to all these tips and, saving, investing, they would be in a better position, even at this time. And so we hope that the message goes out loud and clear that it is very important to save, and especially for rainy days like what we're having now.
Well, I mean, you guys have so much of your bases covered. Everybody from the kids to the adults, everything from investing to saving to, if you have a business, some ways in which you could navigate the present situation. But it's so much condensed. Like, where can people go to see and to get reminders about all that you guys have going on?
Okay, well, we have a Facebook page. It's ECCB Connects. We have a YouTube channel as well and a Facebook page. Once you type in ECCB Connects, it comes up. And we actually have a Financial Information Month page with all that information on it. So once you go to ECCB Connects, you will see all the information there on Financial Information Month.
Oh, awesome. I know for me personally, in these times, I need some of this literacy. And I'm sure there's a lot of people who are listening who could definitely use some of this information and hopefully put it into practice. And, just help us to really get through this time, and even maybe cultivate practices that we could take forward even past this that would serve us well.
Right.
But personally, is there any of the events that you're looking forward to attending or being a part of?
Certainly. Well, for me personally, it's
apart from the TikTok challenge, because we know that's what it is.
I was just about to say, I am one of the organizers for that particular event, the treasure hunt. This is something we have been having for a couple of years, and I really look forward to that because of the involvement of our young people. And the excitement that it brings with them trying to find all the clues and everything. And so that for me is the highlight. But also the virtual symposium, because a lot of information is shared there, and people need to be empowered. Honestly, people need to be empowered about about their finances. Too many times folks take this thing for granted, and it's only when situations like this occurs then we find ourselves, struggling. But in the midst of the struggle, and one of the things I want to highlight is the the area of focus for FIM this year is innovation in the face of financial adversity. Respond, recover, rise. So that is the area the broad area of focus when the partners got together and decided on how we should approach Financial Information Month this year with all the challenges that we're having. This is what came out of it. Innovation in the face of financial adversity. Respond, recover, rise. The 3 R's. And so that is the message that we want to get out there. You've got to be innovative in the midst of this adverse situation. We didn't expect it, but we have to adapt to it. And so the 3 R's, that's essential for persons to think about. How do you respond? Okay, how do you recover? And above all, how do you rise?
Oh yeah, definitely. Questions that need answers. I think that we here on the show we've been talking about that same thing, innovating and adapting to the present situation, and we've seen a lot of that happening. We've seen a lot of people just based on necessity having to adapt, having to move and retool in some ways. But from your perspective as someone who's at the ECCB, the regulator, what are some of the ways that you've seen, or some of the areas that you've seen people kind of shifting into to try and do exactly what you're suggesting with those 3 R's?
Yeah, well, definitely. There are persons who have become entrepreneurs rather, as a result of this pandemic. And one of the things that we offer is a savings and investment business course. We have workshops that we run annually. And coming out of that, we have actually seen some of our participants who have started their own business as a result of that. And, there's one lady in particular who attended our workshop, who shall remain nameless, and she has a thriving business in the face of this adversity, that is happening even right now. It's a food business. Of course, food is something that, usually sells. And so.
If it tastes good.
Yeah, but yeah, we have actually seen persons who have benefited from these sessions that we have had. And, we have seen persons making that shift, making that adjustment, from what they used to do or how they used to do it to smarter ways, more innovative ways, more creative ways. I can tell you this pandemic has brought out a lot of creativity. Yes, it has its negatives, but coming out of it, you can see some positives there where people have shifted, in order to adapt. Yeah. It's all about keeping your business afloat.
Yeah, I think we've seen. Yeah, go ahead, Kevin.
Oh, well, I just want to know more about this course. You mentioned there's a course available.
Yes, savings and investment. Yeah, we have it. We have it on an annual basis. Like I say, all information there is on our website. But persons sign up. Yeah, we work closely with the University of the West Indies as well. Okay, to get our course certified, and so persons can sign up if you have a small business or if you are thinking about going into business. Yes, we teach you. Yep, entrepreneurship.
All right. So what you're saying is that the central bank does not wait until October to get into the education of persons and stuff like that.
We actually have programs all through the year, public education programs, because this is a public education program, yeah,
right.
Financial Information Month. But it's just that when October comes, we focus more on getting the information out But all through the year, we have community outreach programs and public education programs that will sensitize our citizens and all across the ECCB.
All right. I mean, the question that is burning inside me right now is if I am to take a pass by the central bank located up there in the Burdock Road, on Figby Road, is there a chance you could spare us a loose 100,000?
Unfortunately,
nothing loose.
It's not as loose as it sounds.
Okay, I mean, hey, nothing beat. You have to adapt. So I decided let me adapt and ask your question.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
But I mean, it's
teach you how to work.
How to work for it. How to work for it.
And how to work for it and how to earn it. Yes.
All right. Well, maybe I need to really come and join one of those courses. But yeah, man, I mean, we really appreciate, you taking the time to let our listeners and our viewers know exactly what is happening with ECCB and let them know about Financial Literacy Month. Guys, it's a lot of information, a lot of activities that I'm sure all of us could benefit from. But before we wrap up, is there any last words, anything you want to repeat just so our listeners know?
Sure. And I just wanted to make a point that while ECCB, the Eastern Caribbean Central Bank, coordinates this effort, it is an effort by all our financial partners. So it's not an ECCB thing. It is all the financial partners across the region who come together to plan these activities. Okay, it's just that we are the ones who coordinate it, right? So I just want everybody to know that Financial Information Month has to do with all the partners, all the financial partners across the Eastern Caribbean Currency Union. And again, we want to sound the message and out there that it's all about financial empowerment through education. You have to be empowered, as a result of the education that we offer. The area of focus this month is innovation in the face of financial adversity. How do you respond? How do you recover? How do you rise? A number of persons out there who are faced with challenging situations, struggling to survive. Some have lost their jobs. Some have depleted their savings. It's a real struggle. But we're saying with whatever you have left, you have to be able to respond, recover, and rise. How do you do that? One, let's get digital. There's a popular song, let's get physical. Well, it's not physical anymore.
Let's get digital.
The social distancing, I can tell you that.
Right. Okay. Right. So how do you equip yourself for the digital way of life? So that's one of our sub-themes. And then you have make savings, budgeting, and investment a habit for a more comfortable tomorrow. Had we been making this a habit, lots of persons would have been in a better position. So it's time now to make savings, budgeting, and investing a habit, okay, so that, when these things happen, we can adjust accordingly. And of course, minding your own business. It's time to mind your own business. Yes, how do you keep your own small business afloat in tough times, okay? What are the opportunities? What are the funding assistance that you can tap into? Risk management. There's a whole lot of information that will be shared with our general public. So we want to encourage you to listen in to the radio stations. We will be on all radio stations. As a matter of fact, we have an Inside the News program coming up this Saturday, where we will be going more into detail on how you can actually do some of these things. We'll have some of our financial partners in, and we'll be spending some time on Inside the News this Saturday. So for those of you who are listening, and you'll have an opportunity to call in, ask your questions, okay, this Saturday at 11 o'clock on Inside the News, right? So, and for more information, please check out our Facebook page and our YouTube channel, just ECCB Connects. That's it. We want to connect with you. And so once you type in ECCB Connects, it'll all come up and you'll have all the information there at your fingertips about Financial Information Month.
Well, Mr. Brown, it's been a real pleasure hearing from you. There's so much to look forward to in the month of October, Financial Literacy Month. And I already hear one or two activities that I'm going to put on my calendar because I can't afford to miss it. Seeing as now I have to learn to work for it. So, but it's been a real pleasure. I appreciate you for taking the time again to come in and talk to us. Guys, remember ECCB Connects on Facebook. You could go and see all the information. And remember to tune in on Saturday to Inside the News right here on Win Media SKN for the talk and the chat with the ECCB members and as we speak about Financial Literacy Month and all that we have planned, as well as more information about how you can become more financially literate. So, guys, we're going to take a short break, and we're going to be right back with more Island Tea right here on Win Media SKN. Not going away.
Okay, thank you for having me.
No problem.
Feel the magic happening. Campari. Taste. Something incredible happens when Campari is mixed just right. Like Campari and orange juice poured over ice. Taste it. Try it tonight. Bitter, sweeter, better. Campari. Must be 18 years and older. Drink responsibly.
Your favorite fruit has got a new skin with real juice within. Drink the real Fruta. Enjoy the real joy.
Taste the real Fruta. Enjoy the real Fruta. Refreshing juice of every day is Fruta.
Fruta, juiced right.
Welcome back to Island Tea with your faves, Kevin and Azim, featuring Jade, Gwenisha Johnson, who decided to stay at home today.
Jade Johnson, I swear I can understand with Jade Johnson, aka CPL. She can stay home and then listen to us and then be messaging us about say this. I don't understand it. But what you could do? She own woman, you hear? Morning, Jade.
Gwen. But have enough here. Well, we are here yet again. We also have an updated COVID-19 situation report. The one we read was for Saturday at midnight. This one is for Sunday at midnight. Sunday 11:59 p.m. So I will read this one for you so we can get a more recent figure. So confirmed cases within the last 24 hours stands at 8. This is small. So total number of cases now 2,037. Active cases is at 1,010. Recovered cases is at 1,012.
Holding on by. Recovered cases holding on.
Yeah.
This is like coming down the street at the 400-meter relay.
Right. And the deaths toll still at 15, which is not a good number, but it hasn't changed from the last one.
Yeah, guys. Yeah. Take whatever precaution.
Yeah.
If you're gonna vaccinate. No matter what. If you're not going to vaccinate, then work, and for everybody, whether vaccinated or not, social distance, wear mask, sanitize, and prepare your body. Like work on your health. Try and eat properly, be active, get your weight down to the suggested weight. Don't bother say, I like my thighs like this. Like yeah, COVID like your thighs like that too.
With your health.
Oh boy, let's move on. Kevin just out here wilding.
Well, it's always me.
That's the same question I always asking. That's the question I always want to get answered. You need to relax.
Wow, it's crazy how you can be incriminated easily, just like that. But let's jump into some news, some local-ish news, local/international news on this segment of Tea Time. So let's talk St. Kitts and Dubai.
Yay.
So St. Kitts participates in the Dubai Expo 2020. St. Kitts and Nevis received wide exposure on the first day of the Expo 2020, which is being held in Dubai, the United Arab Emirates, under the theme Connecting Minds, Creating the Future. The St. Kitts and Nevis Pavilion, which falls under the sub-theme Sustainability, sheds light on our nation's past, present, and future, all from a cultural, economic, technological, and environmental point of view. A special emphasis is being placed on seizing opportunities for investment in all sectors of the economy, building new relations with other participating countries, and strengthening existing ties. Visitors to the pavilion will also benefit from, among others, stunning views of Brimstone Hill Fortress National Park, our only World Heritage Site, Penny's Beach, and the Four Seasons Hotel, lush rainforest, and a feature on U.S. founding father and statesman Alexander Hamilton, who was born on the island of Nevis. Also on display is the award-winning payment application Carib Pay, the brainchild of the national Dion Herbert. Expo 2020 Dubai recognized the innovation behind the development of this payment system, which runs without an internet platform, making it more accessible to a wider client base. I didn't even know that. Wow.
Yeah.
Moreover, visitors to St. Kitts and Nevis, the pavilion, that is, are being provided the opportunity to purchase items produced by the Federation, which are things like pepper sauce, organic honey, Caribbean batik items, handicraft, and paintings by Vaughn Anslin and Dennis Richards. On opening day, the pavilion staff enthusiastically interacted with patrons, offered additional information, and answered questions to the curious and interested patrons. Whoop, whoop. So here's your panel that were representing St. Kitts and Nevis at the opening. It was H.E. Justin Hawley, Ambassador of St. Kitts and Nevis to the United Arab Emirates, Miss Elsa Wilkin Armbrister, St. Kitts and Nevis Commissioner General to the Expo, Mr. Samuel Beveridge, Deputy Commissioner General, Mr. Patrick Howell, Logistics Manager, and Miss Desiree Huggins, Protocol Officer. The Expo will remain open until March 31st, 2022. So, if you'd like to go visit, go ahead.
Yeah. It's definitely on my list. I don't know if I'm going to make it this time around. But no, man, like I actually saw some pictures from the expo. I knew it was coming up because I saw some of the preparation for it taking place, some time back. So kudos to all involved. I think these are very important showcases for countries like ours, and I really hope that we maximize the exposure at the expo. But I still do believe that we need to really get the St. Kitts cigars going, the St. Kitts coffee going, as well as the monkey milk.
I think so too.
Get the monkey milk going. You could imagine if we were showcasing some monkey milk at this expo. Bye.
Monkey milk is the new supplement.
Monkey milk is the new everything.
Monkey milk boost you up.
But yeah, I mean, there was a lot. One of the things that I saw that was really cool were the displays of our cultural wear for some of the folklore, wear. So I saw a display with the masquerade outfits as well as the bull outfits. I think these are things that we kind of take for granted because it's just kind of like what we see here all the time. But for people who this is something new, it's something that would really draw them into the island. Like the thing that sets us apart is culture, right? And nothing moves without culture. If you want St. Kitts to move, if you want people to recognize what we are, it's going to be on the backs of our culture, right? And recognizing its value and putting it on full display in a way that is worthy of it, right? So having this be the case at the expo, I think is a good look. Hopefully we see some partnerships, economic activity coming out of it, or even just some recognition for our talented people here.
Yeah.
Boomba.
Cute. Boomba.
Yeah, bye. Monkey milk though.
I gotta have an expo. Monkey milk.
Oh my god. Yeah. Somebody bring me a St. Kitts cigar, no? What are you doing? Anyway.
I just make me don't know what to say now. Like I just
Let's move on. You got some very interesting articles today.
Yeah, they definitely do. Monkey milk. Let's talk about something else, local / regional / international-ish. So a St. Kitts man has been convicted in the US for international gun smuggling ring.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
A St. Kitts man will do time in the US for selling and arranging the illegal sale of firearms from Georgia. So this is the territory we're in now? So, I know we're diversifying the economy, but...
You mean if that's what we're into now, in terms of like international gun smuggling, or you mean in getting caught?
No, the smuggle. I know,
the
like I said,
smuggling.
I know we're trying to diversify the economy, but I don't think this is what I meant.
Yeah, this is not on display at the expo.
So Josiah Roy Lewis, who's 30 years old, of St. Kitts and Nevis, was sentenced last week to 4 years and 9 months in federal prison, followed by 3 years of supervised release after being convicted of conspiracy to straw purchase firearms, possession of a firearm with an obliterated serial number, exporting firearms outside of the U.S., and possession with intent to distribute marijuana. When the federal indictment against his co-defendants became public in 2020 of October, he tried to flee the United States buying a plane ticket from Miami to the United Kingdom. Local police were able to arrest him before he boarded his flight. Lewis directed the straw purchase of the guns, had their serial numbers obliterated, and then smuggled them in household items with the intent of selling them abroad. Our federal and international law enforcement partners were able to intercept some of the shipments before they were used in a crime. We will continue to aggressively prosecute those who buy firearms for others and unlawfully export them for illicit purposes. And this is a statement by the acting U.S. Attorney, Kurt Erskine. Still probably said it wrong.
I mean,
diversify the economy.
But I want to take this time to make a plea, right? I think a lot of times, and this isn't something that's unique to Kittitians, so this isn't a knock on Kittitians, but a lot of times we find people migrating to the US, and sometimes it might be for work, for college, a lot of time university and stuff like that, and things ain't easy out there, people. Like, things ain't a bed of roses. You go out there and like ain't always work out the way you expect it to work out to, and sometimes we find persons doing whatever they have to do to move forward. No, I don't know the situation, I don't know the people involved, but I could speak from what I would have witnessed. And you find a lot of people getting into illegal activity because the barrier of entry is very low. You don't need no degree, you don't need a lot of prerequisites. Maybe you just need somebody to vouch for you a lot of times. And so in an effort to really just make a better life for yourself, sometimes we get caught up in certain things. But let me tell you, like, we hate all the time and it's cliche, but these things will only end one or two ways here.
Basically.
Right? But I want to offer. Wait, where the gospel music? Where the musician?
Oh my gosh.
I want to offer a word of encouragement and wisdom here to persons who may be considering making this move. Come back home. Some are out there afraid to come back home. Come back home.
That too.
If things rough, come home is home here.
You see, I think part of it too, and I was talking to somebody about this the other day, I think part of it is that when people from the Caribbean think that moving to the States is an achievement, and that it means that you have made it in some way by just moving. And I think that returning home makes it seem like you failed, which is not necessarily the case, because you could just move back home.
Pride and ego is a thing.
Crazy.
And it'll cause people to make some decisions and to put up and deal with some things that they really don't have to.
Mm-hmm.
Like deciding that, hey, I want to be home isn't somehow a knock on you. It isn't like you're not a failure for moving back home. And the truth is, you don't have to prove anything to anybody. And I think a lot of times that's what it is. Like, they want to come home, spend the last money to buy nice clothes to come home for carnival, go back home and struggle for the next 6 months than to just like walk out, you know. Look, boss, like, let me talk straight here. You got people leaving. You got people leaving good jobs, comfortable middle income jobs where they could fend and support the family and thing, to move away. Now, there's nothing wrong with that, but if things don't always go as you planned,
Come back.
home is home. Home is home. You leave your teaching job, you're a department head, you get your green card, you're going to the States, no problem. But you leave your house, that your bill and whatever, go and live in sub-satisfactory conditions, right?
Mediocre conditions.
I have literally gone and visited people, and I know what their situation was in St. Kitts, and the question I asked them is like, hey, like, where you doing? Go home.
Why you move?
No, not even where you move. I understand where you move, like, you know, but
Well, yeah, the move is fine, but,
yeah,
you know.
yeah, like some people want to change. People want a new adventure. There's all sorts
But
of
if the
reasons.
change don't work, you fortunately have an option. You know, as somebody like most people like dual citizens ish, you have the option to go somewhere else.
And this is the thing, Kevin. Like, you have, if you like, let me put it this way: if you get to a point in your life, right, where you're faced with two options, and the options are possibly start a gun running ring and export guns back home, or export yourself back home, let me give you some advice. Export yourself back home. Like, I don't know. I don't know. Like, yeah, it's do yourself a favor, guys, and come home. People say it all the time. You can't starve in St. Kitts. I mean, yeah, you might end up resorting to stealing breadfruit from somebody's yard, but that is still better than selling guns. Oh man!
I mean, you could even jump into the monkey milk business.
Monkey
you have
milk.
options.
Watch you know how much opportunities anyway.
And then let's make this happen.
Actually, I'm looking for a monkey as soon as I leave the show. And
Let's make this monkey milk thing happen.
See if I could get a sample. A monkey sample. See what we could do with this thing. Watch it, bro. You think it's joke? Like, this is a real thing, yeah. Like, you see this, you know the money that people that pay for like coffee beans that the animal don't excrete. Like, and you want to tell me my monkey milk idea can't
work? There's a market for it. You just have to get it to the right interest and the right like momentum, and
bro, you just can't market it to the masses. It has to be for a very elite, exclusive club. Monkey milk should be on par with like gold in terms of price per weight. Because if you ever try to catch a monkey, you understand it probably ain't easy to milk them. Probably ain't easy to milk them. I think we could justify the cost. And there must be some health benefits. Because if I had to guess, right? Looking at the sheep and looking at the monkey, we're probably closer to the monkeys. But we drink like cow's milk and so. I look nothing like a cow. But we don't have a problem drinking the cow's milk. So I want to believe just by like closeness in the DNA, the monkey milk probably gonna be better for us. I mean, I ain't a scientist, so nobody take my word for it. But anyway, guys, if you want to invest in the monkey milk idea, hit us up. info@islandtea@gmail.com. Oh wait, it is info@islandtea. Jay gonna let us know. Jay gonna let us know what the email is. But yeah, anyway, we stop giving out all this free game and the year. What are we doing next?
Going home.
Yeah, I wanted to talk about the Pandora Papers.
Do it.
No.
About the what?
The Pandora Papers.
What's Pandora Papers?
Bro, the Pandora Papers, like, it's this huge leak of like information outlining outlining a world filled with, but it's like a whole parallel universe where the rich and wealthy like hide their money, and there's been this huge leak of information from, I think it's something like 14 of these companies that deal specifically with that. It's gonna have incredible implications, especially for islands in the Caribbean that have been implicated in this thing, money laundering and tax-free havens, trust companies, shell companies, all these things. Is a very interesting thing. But what happened? We could probably talk about it tomorrow. Because time going. But one of the things that I'm going to be looking at closely is it has actually named a lot of PEPs. PEPs meaning politically exposed persons. So a lot of the people who are like, who having the information come out now and stuff are a lot of world leaders, politicians, people who would have amassed their wealth through questionable means, and of course porn stars. So these are the people that are like kind of implicated, but a lot of world leaders are now like, looking for lawyers right now.
This is interesting. We need to dive right into this. I'm intrigued.
Yes, and the of course, the thing about it is that it's probably going to implicate a lot of governments and a lot of prime ministers, and well, it's already implicated some prime ministers and some past politicians and stuff like that. So it's going to be interesting to see how this whole thing plays out. And I don't think it's going to do anything to bring down this entire like world or anything like that, because the truth is, most of us would like to be in those positions.
I mean, truthfully,
that's
most people
kind of what
would
it is.
sign up to be in those positions.
Yeah. And the people who are in charge of probably legislating over these issues are probably the people who are there thinking to myself, at some point I may want to skirt around a law here or two. So perhaps I just don't make the line in the first place. So we'll have to wait and see how this whole thing plays out. But I think one of the issues with these kinds of situations, like I said, is that deep down I think most people kind of understand and would like these types of problems. Yeah.
Welcome to corruption.
Yay.
Diversify your economy by any means necessary.
Diversify your economy. Well, the problem is that in some cases I was going through some of the information, and there's this one particular past president of a country that it's estimated that he siphoned $5 billion. So it's like $5 billion from the country. The country need roads, infrastructure, healthcare, schools, hospitals, etc., etc., etc. Like, they diversify in the pocket. I don't know about the economies though, but it's gonna be interesting to see how this thing play out and how it affects legislation going forward. Because even here we've heard calls for certain types of legislation that would help to stem this obvious global crisis, and we haven't really seen much movement on it. But it'll be interesting. But tomorrow guys, we talk more about it. We could probably do that as the first international story, if anything. But guys, it's been great. It's a new week. Really want to wish everyone a safe and productive week. We're gonna be here 8ish to 10ish, Monday to Friday. Monday to Friday this week.
I mean, okay.
Yeah, Monday to Friday. And really appreciate all you guys who log on and join us weekly. All you guys who listen to us on Win FM's Facebook page, on their YouTube channel, or on their website. and as well as if you check us out on the FM dial on your radio. Really appreciate it. Sorry to all the people who wanted to call in. We'll try and get the phone lines fixed so you could be a part of the show going forward. But Kevin, it is time for us to leave. It is time for us to disembark. It's time for us to go. Parting is such sweet sorrow. But of course, as I hinted earlier, I have to have a date with a monkey, and I'm gonna have to take my leave. But before we go, I know that there's something on your heart that we would love to share with our friends and listeners. And guys, here it is, from the Duke himself, Duke of Frigate Bay, the Prosecco Papi, the Slim God, the Chapstick Don, the Freak of Neatness, Sir Kevin Hanley.
That is because you cannot be everyone's cup of tea, because you is not a mug. We will see you tomorrow.